Hi guys, how's everyone doing out there? This is Desmond from Singapore, sending my greetings and love to everyone. Most of you guys, I'm too stuck at home with this coronavirus madness that is ongoing. As you can see, each and every day we are bombarded by all this negativity, where the media are covering about the coronavirus, or better known as COVID-19. That basically stem up from China and it's now spreading globally. We see how schools in Hong Kong right now has been the school are basically closed to further date, and civil servants are asked to stay at home and not go to work for another week or so, right? And this has not yet to happen in Singapore. I foresee that is a possibility of that happening, and the whole atmosphere, the people on social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and WeChat, and whatsoever that you're using are pretty much flooded with nothing but just about virus, where you can buy the hand sanitizer, mask, so on and so forth. So I felt that this is getting a bit out of context, and like to share a different perspective from a business opportunity point of view, right? Also on the business front, we are looking at the food and beverage, the restaurants and the hotels. Basically, those in the hospitality industry are very badly hit with this coronavirus. There are reports of restaurants closing down because they are basically nobody coming to lunch or dine in at all. Whereas those that are doing the food delivery, they see a pickup in their business. So if the food business you're in do not provide this service, then you are very much at the mercy of this virus, right? You're very much at the mercy of this virus. So what is this opportunity that I would like to share with you? Okay. First thing first, I like to bring forth this important concept of what we term as crisis, right? In Chinese, we have a saying, crisis literally means 危机, right? In Chinese, it means 危机. Literally, it means that when we are in a time of danger, right, that underlies it is also a time of opportunity that presents to us, right? So where do you want to focus? Do you want to focus on the crisis part of it, or do you want to sieve out the opportunity? And that's what I hope to share with you guys, right? So let's move on. I'm going to use this cash flow quadrant that is, I think, coined by Robert Kiyosaki, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it should be right. Robert Kiyosaki. I think this is quite powerful, right? You can see on the top left, right? Top left here is the employee quadrant, right? Employee, I think by and large, in most countries, a lot of people will be in this category. I was once in this, working for a good 20 over years, right? So in this category, you basically bear no risk from that point of view, but your paycheck, right, is much controlled by others, right? So your salary and your promotion are much determined by the company. And at a time like this, where the global economy is experiencing a slowdown, China, the second largest economy, is not just in debts, but it's also slowing down a lot. So I'm not sure what kind of promotion or pay raise we could be possibly looking at, right? So that's for the employee category. Your time basically is you are exchanging time for money, right? If you are out of the employment, that means you are no longer at work, then you're on your own, you know, you have no income coming in, right? Next one, right below the E is the S, or the self-employed, right? This is where I'm currently at, but not the most ideal, but slightly better than E. Here you control your own income or salary. So for example, you can be someone that is giving coaching. You can be someone that is giving a piano lesson, swimming lesson. You can provide training to your participants, whatsoever, right? So you're basically self-employed. So you control your own income or your salary. However, okay, the keyword here is if you stop working, your earnings stop, right? Think about it. If I am a piano teacher and I have to go on holiday for, say, a month or so, right, to Europe or whichever country, now the customer is not going to cover me for that, right? Not only do I have to pay out of my own pocket for my travel, but in that 2 months that I'm absent, I would not be receiving any income. That's just for holiday. What happened when I'm not well? If something happened, you know, that I have to be hospitalized, that I have to be out of work for a period of time, you know, due to family, personal matters whatsoever, right? So all these factors will also um, affect the income that, you know, that I'm going to have. So while S is slightly better than E, you're still in a way uh, exchanging your time for money, right? Exchanging your time for money. The next one will be much better, would be the bottom right, which is the letter B, right? B for boy. You can see, is a business owner. Here you earn from the efforts of others. Efforts of others. So quite straightforward in that sense. For example, if you run a especially in the direct selling model, or some of the term it as the multi-level income, so the MLM model, right, where you earn from the effort of others. So you build a team, you have a team under you, and you basically manage this team and convince them, motivate them, charge them up whatsoever to sell, right? To sell the product, to sell the services. Let's say you are in the dietary supplement, you know, industry, so you'll be pushing them to sell more and more of this vitamin C or whatsoever. Okay, and the more they sell, the more commission that you override. So you can be, in a way, it is much better than S, because sorry, it's not much better. It's a lot better than S, because you can be traveling, you can be busy with your own thing. For example, you can be working out in the gym, you can sending your kids to school, or you know, or basically you just don't feel like working, but you know, you can leverage. That's the keyword, leveraged on the efforts of others, so they will still be, you know, working, productive, and you can still draw a relatively good stream of income, you know, in this B quadrant. Of course, the downside would be management headaches, because not everyone can sell. Let's put it this way. So you might spend a lot of time recruiting these people, and once they are in your team, that's just the beginning, because you have to train them to be able to sell, and not just sell a bottle of two, but you know, to be superstar, so that you know, you can qualify for the next incentive and trips and so on and so forth, a much higher commission bracket, right? So you may not be the one who is doing the selling, but you got to make sure that these people below you can sell. And I do know of lots of good salespeople. They can sell very well on their own, but when you get them to train other people or translate their skills, impart the skills of their selling skills to others, they find it challenging. They could not, you know, do it. just like a good chef, he or she can prepare a very good meal for you. But if you to ask him to break it down, what ingredient goes in and how much and this and that, it may be just be too difficult for a newbie to pick it up, right? So the skill set is the most important. Of a good salesperson, it very much sometimes it's so good and become intangible. It lies with the person, right? It lies with the person. And the next one we'll talk about is the top right one, which is I for investor. Here basically we are talking about building a stream of passive income or repeat income, right? So I think it's quite straightforward here. Here we talk about things like perhaps buying and selling of buying of shares, rather shares of a listed company, right? So you earn not only the capital appreciation of the company, but also you can get dividends. So of course, we all know the legendary investor, Mr. Warren Buffett, right? So he fits nicely into this category. He's one of the world best investor, right? Proven with his value investing concept, right? So he has earned the respect of a lot of people, showing proof that you can have a good stream of passive income year after year, through the value investing model, right? Of course, there's always a risk involved. Nothing is 100% guaranteed, and here would be the financial risk, right? So a lot of people are talking about the stock market currently is overvalued, and the central government in each country are pumping lots of money to the already ailing economy. And what's going to happen? Are we going to experience a market correction? Is there going to be a market crash? Which is your guess is as good as mine, right? So yeah, that's that. So basically, this quadrant is this chart I felt is a cash flow quadrant is very powerful. It helps to show you where you are currently and how you can move. For example, if you're in E, can you sacrifice some time, when you have free time, to look at the I quadrant or perhaps the B quadrant, or moving from E to S? Or if you're in S like myself, how can I reduce the time in S, and utilize the resources and skill set that I have, and put forth more into the I quadrant, for example, right? For example, so I felt that this is fantastic model for you to play around and see how you can allocate your time and your resources. Okay, with this, let's move on. Okay, so this business that I'm going to share with you, right? Let's keep that under wrap for a short while before I reveal it to you, right? First thing first is imagine if you were to if you want to do some business, right? Want to do a business, say you want to sell t-shirts, for example, right? So the t-shirt will be a physical product, right? So you can see on the slide here, you have t-shirt, a fashion, shoe, watches, bags, and then you may be also interested in the daily necessities like the detergents or fresh fruits, canned food, canned food whatsoever. These are all products. So you need to have you need to identify the product, right? And this product has to give you the confidence that it will be something that people want. No point you sell a bag that is very expensive, but the market may not want it, right? And there are thousands and thousands of bags. As far as the fashion bags industry is concerned, probably I don't know how many there are. So there are lots of choices for people to choose, right? So first thing first, you need to narrow down what products do you want to get in, and that can be quite a mind-boggling exercise, right? What kind of research do you need to engage in to determine that this product that you are going to represent or you're going to manufacture or design whatsoever is the product that the market wants, right? So this business that I'm talking about do not require you to have a product, so to speak, right? There's no need for you to think and design or manufacture or represent a product at all, okay? Next is pricing, right? Once you have the product, you need to come up with various pricing mechanism, right? You have to ask yourself, are you going to be a wholesaler? Are you going to be a distributor? Are you going to be a retailer, right? And there are so many things to consider. So at what price are you going to offer it to the end consumer? And you got to do lots of market research. If you're, for example, if you're selling a watch, what kind of watch is it? You know, is it a fashion watch? Is it a classic watch, a luxury watch, men's watch, female watch, you know, kids watch, whatsoever? And then you got to narrow it down to the segment and find out what is the price range that you got to offer. If you're going to price it 10-20% higher than the market, then you probably need to have a compelling reason for people to move away from the current products and ship it to yours. You know, why is your product much more expensive? What's in it for them? You know, is it the design? Is it the warranty? I don't know. So many things to think about. So pricing strategy is itself a mind-boggling exercise as far as I'm concerned, right? So again, this one you need not be involved at all, right? So no pricing, you don't have to worry about pricing as far as this model or this business is concerned. Nope. Yeah. Next, we talk about promotion. Now, look at the whole year. There are seasons, right? There are seasons. A classic example that I can think of is right now, right? So with this coronavirus madness that's ongoing, lots of hotels in the world are so badly affected. Governments in this country are trying to issue travel bans. You know, you're not allowed. Even like in Singapore, a lot of countries are telling their people not to travel to Singapore for that matter. And whether it's right or wrong, let's put it aside. But that's going to affect the tourism industry in Singapore, right? And tourism industry is a large part of our GDP and our economy. So imagine we have lesser foreigners, tourists coming to visit Singapore, and when they are here, they need to stay in the hotels. So the hotels' occupancy rate are going to nosedive very badly. So if you are the hoteler, if you're operating the hotel, you need to come up with strategies. You need to perhaps do some kind of a promotion, I don't know, at 50%, at 60%. All right. So these are strategies that you need to come up with. So assuming you are not in that level of business, you know, because hotel operation is a very involved large capital. So just say that you are in your fashion product, right? Something simpler that you can manage, right? You need to think of, oh, okay, Valentine has just recently passed. Are you offering something for the singles on Valentine's Day? What kind of promotion are you giving, right? And then you have the respective New Year, Christmas, and so many festivals, or so many holidays and festivals, you know, that you can tie in with. So you can constantly come up with new ideas and pricing strategies and tie-ups and giveaways. And again, you know, lots of headache, lots of challenges. Right? This business does not require you to go into all this at all. Right? Isn't that beautiful? Right? No. Okay. Next one, it would be to look for a retail space. So if you are a retailer of, again, I'll use a fashion product, right? You got to make sure that your the retail store that you have, right, has the traffic visibility, right? You don't have to be tucked in a small corner of the street where people have difficulty finding you. Finding you. So that is going to be a challenge. That's going to be a challenge. And rentals in whatever countries are expensive. Rentals in respective countries are expensive, right? So it's a fixed running cost, right? It's a fixed running cost and something that you want to be very mindful of, right? You have to be very mindful of, and this business again uh, does not require you to look into this aspect, right? No retail store is necessary. Okay. Next one we move on to will be branding. As you can see, all these big brands here, right? Spending millions and millions of dollars just to upkeep their brand image, right? So, for example, if you are out shopping with your friend, or with a friend in the mall, and you want to have a chit chat over a nice drink, right? Maybe order a coffee or tea. Which would be the top three brands that come to your mind, right? I think the answer is pretty clear, right, for most of us. So again, you need to spend time, money, and effort to boost up your brand image over your competitors, because barriers to entry is getting lower and lower each day as time passes. People see that your business is doing well. People will copy, people will modify, and they want to upend your business. So you need to be on your toes constantly, right? And branding is how should I put it? You can spend lots of money on it, but the returns can take a while for you to start to see the kind of result that you want, right? So branding, no, there's no need for you to do branding at all. Okay. Next one, we talk about distribution. Say, for example, your fashion products, right? You are not going to occupy just one outlet, right? One small outlet in Singapore. As your revenue goes up, you want to have more points of sale. So you maybe have, let's say in Singapore, North, South, East, West, all the major malls will have one outlet of yours. And once you conquer Singapore, you may want to branch out to the neighboring countries or to export your brand out of different countries. Now, it's not so straightforward that you can take your product lock, stock, barrel and just apply it to other countries. There are regulations, there are compliances, things that you need to fulfill, right? How the product is to be packaged, how are you going to word your advertisement, taxes, licensing, whatsoever. There are many, many, many things that is going to involve, and this again, like I say, require time, effort, and money, right? So this business I talk about, no, do not require you to do that. Okay, customer service. Now you go to if you run your fashion retail store, right? What if your customer come back and say, hey, I bought the wrong size, I bought the wrong color, this is too small, this is too big, or this is not what I want. Do you have your staff, your customer service staff, who is well trained enough, courteous and polite, to handle such requests? Or sometimes you get the customers who are angry customers who complain, about your products, So the after sales service aspect is another area that we want to look at, lots of things involved, lots of things involved. Again, this training of staff, this providing this feedback to the customers and so on and so forth, takes time, right? Takes time to build, and is all part of the entire sales value model, right? That you need to provide, and that again costs money, right? So no, not required at all. Okay. Next, we talk about competitive advantage, right? So you are selling your fashion product. Why should I buy your brand of fashion product? For example, we talk about is the T-shirt, right? There are probably, I don't know, thousands and thousands of T-shirts, branded to non-branded to customized T-shirt and so on and so forth. Why this particular brand, right? You say yours is 100% cotton, and another competitor of yours said mine is organic cotton. So where is the end of the comparison? Are you the cheapest in town? Are you the best quality in town, or what is it? What is that theme that your product can offer that no one else can? And this competitive advantage is something that is, the way I look at it is pretty hard to maintain unless you have that kind of expertise, the kind of R&D involved to hold up to it, right? For example, we talk about Apple products, right? Maybe 10 years ago they were one of the I mean they are the top three players in the mobile phones category. But look at the recent, even the China mobile phone sets like Oppo and Xiaomi, they are catching up so fast and they are taking a big slice of the market from Apple as well. So Apple, I mean, they are good, they are very good, but the advantage starts to be scaled down, year on year as your competitors also upend their game to catch up with you. So lots of time, effort, need to be involved, and you need to be constantly feeling the pulse of the market so that you know what the customer wants, right? So you need to have a competitive advantage. If not, then you are just what we term in marketing a me too product, right? Just there to occupy the shelf space. Maybe it feels good on your ego, but from a business perspective, what you want is to make profits, right? To generate sales. No point have a product, you're busy, pushing it, doing your branding, doing this, but the sales are not coming in. It's a matter of time that you'll be fizzled out, right? So why waste time, right? If you have not done a thorough research on this area, right? It's better not to get in. So this business I'm talking about do not require you to have a competitive advantage at all. You don't have to worry. Is your product the best in the market? Is it the cheapest in the market? No, not at all. Okay. Next one here. This one may be more suitable for people who are in the E quadrant, the employee quadrant, right? So I was once a corporate animal, stuck in the corporate world for more than 20 over years, so I can definitely relate to this, right? In the morning rush, you have to queue up, and the peak hours, you gotta wait for the subway train to come and get in, and squeeze with everybody, right? And then the below picture shows you sometimes the train station, the train breaks down, and you have to be patient and get through all these big crowds and things like that. And sometimes you have to detour and take shuttle buses in order to get home. So the time spent on traveling to and from work, really can be quite stressful, And if you work this out on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, it can be quite, like as I've said, it really eats into you. Is this something that down the road, perhaps you want to consider? Is this something that you want to do, for the rest of your life? Are you generally happy with where you are? But of course, I know of friends who are very happy to be in the E category. They love the job pays well. Then of course, if that's the case, then of course it is fine, because the other three quadrant, the S, the self-employed, the business owner, and the I quadrant may not be suitable for everybody, right? It does not mean that if you are, I think this is a good clarification. It does not mean that just because you're an employee, you will not be financially free. That's not what I'm trying to say. There are people who are in the E category but still earning very good income, for example, right? But we're talking about by and large, a lot of us may not be in that category. And from my observation and talking to lots of friends on the ground, right, they're generally not happy and they want to get out of the rat race, right? They want to get out of the rat race. Again, right? So this is an area that you want to hopefully reduce or avoid, down the road. Okay. Next, we talk about what is this? Okay, this is pay raise and promotion, right? So if you're an employee, you're looking at probably at best once a year, right? Once a year to hope that the company will give you a pay raise, right? A pay raise or a promotion to a next better title with more responsibilities and so on and so forth, right? So with the coronavirus ongoing, I think we are safe to say that many companies their revenue are so badly affected that retrenchment is very likely. They are already asking some staff not to come to work, and they're going to readjust their workflow, so on and so forth. So this if this trend persists, I think it's going to be quite bad for certain sectors, and it's going to play a domino effect on the other indirect businesses as well that is supporting these industries, right? So this is something that you really want to consider, right? So coronavirus or not, right? Ask yourself the question of the industry that you're in. Are you happy with the kind of pay raise or promotion that is offering you? Are you happy with it, or are you just living year by year, just waiting for this incentive? Is that another way out? Yeah, that's the word. Is that another way out, right? So I definitely believe there is, and that's why I'm sharing with this business opportunity with you guys. Okay, next. So no, you don't have to look at this, and your income can be much higher. I can say that it can be exponential if you manage it well, right? And it can be inconsistent, right? But the right word to use is inconsistently high, right? Rather than inconsistent low, right? I'll share that more with you in a short while. Okay. Next, okay, let's take a look at this backdrop and and consider what the generation we are in now, right? So we are basically now in the Internet of Things, the machine and the robots era, right? So you can see on the top picture that we have robots, acting as servers in the restaurants, and in the center you can have even robot chefs. Wow, I find it really incredible, to eat a meal that is served by a robot chef. I have no idea how it's going to be like, right? So professions like chef are also being threatened in that sense, right? Threatened in the sense, and then you can see there is even a robot barista serving cocktails and your favorite cappuccino, right? All this can be done, can be replaced by all these robots, right? So the food serving industry are very much at risk. That's the way I look at it, right? Bottom left, you see this young gentleman. The picture may look real, but he is actually a robot, an AI robot, right? So he's an anchor news presenter, and I know that is already happening in China, right? So a profession like that of an anchor news presenter can also be substituted by an AI robot. Can you imagine that? It's quite scary, isn't it? Right? So on this chart here, what I want to share with you is the automation risk by job type, which you can see, right? The top one would be food preparation. So food preparation industry would be the hardest hit, right? Probably about more than 60%, followed by construction, cleaning, right? So cleaning, we already know there are many machines that are able to clean much better, more efficient, take less time. So the number of manual cleaners needed, say in the office, in the hotel industry, for example, will be drastically cut down, right? So where are all these cleaners going to go? What other jobs can they find, for example, right? Driving. This of course is the we're talking about in the future trend, right? We have the driverless car, right? It seemed far-fetched to think of that maybe 10-20 years ago, but not anymore, right? Imagine if this driverless trend were to be here right now, right? So there'll be a lot of people who do not have the driving license, but they will now be able to own a car all right, and get to from point A to point B, because these driverless vehicle, they are programmed in such a way that they can bring you safely from point A to point B, right? So you're sitting in the driver's seat, right? But yet you're not controlling the vehicle. The vehicle is self-controlled by a program, right? A program. I think that is just amazing. Something that we can look forward to, right? In the upcoming years, right? So there you go. This chart is quite amazing, I would say, right? So here I wish to make a point is a lot of us go through life day in day out, and we are just like very much like a rat running in a rat race, just all that's just like a rat running in a maze. Hardly have time to slow down and think about it. And maybe when you have some time at night, this thought it comes to you. I wish life had a rewind button, right? So if let's say Aladdin is here right now and he offer you this wish, right, that you can have a rewind button, what would you want to do? What would you want? What wish would you want to have, for example, right? What wish would you want to have, for example? I think this is something that all of us can give it a serious thought about it, right? So here, this is a very fascinating picture that I've downloaded, right? This black ink that is flowing down into this container of clean water, right? You can see. So this black ink, metaphorically speaking, it represents all the unhappiness that we have over the years from our job, right? For example, we are frustrated, we're not happy with our co-workers, we're not happy with the boss, we're not happy with the pay, we're not happy with the work. There are so many things we are just not happy with, but we just stick to it because we need to pay bills. It's as good as that. It's like they say, I have no choice. Something that most people will wear it on their lips. No, I have no choice. I need to pay bills. I got mortgage. I got loans. I got this. I got that. So they are stuck. That's the key word. They feel stuck in their job, and this black ink would, be accumulated. More and more of it would flow into this container, right? Flow into this container. Look at it in another way, right? This white part here is basically your brains, right? Your brain. And this black ink represents the negative emotions that you have, right? The anger, the resentment, you are jealous and envy of your friends or your or or, or, or whoever that that are doing much better than you, and you're not happy with yourself. You start to doubt yourself if you can ever get out of this. You belittle yourself, that wow, how have you ended up in such a stage, so this negative emotion would just snowball, year after year. And I personally feel that that is not good uh, for the body, and it's not good for the body, it's not good for the mind, physiologically, mentally, spiritually. I think it's just this toxic energy has to be removed slowly but surely over time, right? So over here, I have this very interesting video, that kind of showing the slowly disappearance of these black toxic materials that is present in our mind. That I think this is something that I would like to bring to your awareness. That is, we all need to play an active role here, because nobody is going to be, doing this for us, right? If we don't put in the effort, right? We need to ask ourselves, is this the kind of life that we want to have for the next 20, 30 years? And if you're like me, father of 2 kids, then you want to think even further, what kind of role model are you setting for your kids? What kind of values and what kind of examples are you showing to your kids by doing what you are doing? Are you happy with where you are? Are you progressing in life? Are you, pursuing the hobbies and lifestyle that you want? And if it's not, what can you do about it? What can you do to change, right? So I hope this short presentation about this aspect would be helpful, right? And right now I'm going to bring you to the other part of it, okay? Just bear with me, right? Okay, so if you look at this chart here, sorry, if you look at this chart here and you are familiar, right? So this business I'm talking to, that I'm sharing with you guys, is none other than trading and investment, right? Trading and investment. So I'm going to go a bit slower here because maybe some of you are very new to this part of the world, if I may use, but some of you may be very familiar, right? So first thing first, I talked about earlier in the slides, I talked about product, right? I say if you are going to do business, you need to think of a product, right? So in trading, right? Okay, I'm going to use the word trading and in investing fairly loosely. I'm not going to go into the technical definition of what constitutes trading, what constitutes investing. I think that is going to be a very lengthy debate. So for ease of reference, I'm going to use trading, right? Okay, so when we talk about products, there are many financial products that is available in the marketplace right now. So for example, you are currently looking at this. This is the US dollars versus the Canadian dollar. So this is what we term as a currency, right? There are more than 200 over currency pairs that you can trade per day, right? So this is just one of the major pair, right? US dollars versus the Canadian dollars. So this website called tradingview.com, please visit when you have time. And later I will show you where you can find some of my posts, okay? That'll be later. So very quickly, let's look at this, right? So here I post this chart here to show to my followers and to anyone who's basically going in to just take a look, right? Who are or maybe interested in this pair, the US dollar and versus the Canadian dollar. So here I am making a prediction that the price will go up. Okay, so let me click on this button. Okay, all right. So you can see here once the price. So these are the red and green is basically what we call them as the price or the candles, whatever you want to call it, right? So not going too deep at this stage about interpreting the charts. Okay, just a very quick overview, right? So the price breakout from this red line here, this red line here, this we call the trend line. It break out one time, okay, it hover a little bit and then it come back down again, right? So here we can maybe term it as it is a false breakout or a false alarm, right? So false alarm and then come back and then it break out again a second time, right? A second time and it go up to here, but it couldn't sustain, right? So the sellers come in and push the price back down. As you can see the wick here, right? So you can see a wick. Let me make it bigger, right? You can see the wick. So it comes down below the trend line again before it give a very nice jump up. And right, this is a perk. Wow, fantastic, right? And then it goes higher up, right? So as an example, had you bought this pair, right? Anywhere here at 1.30. So I make it easy at 1.30. This is where you enter, right? The price at 1.30 and you hold it to here, 1.31. So the difference between here to here, that is your profit times the number of contracts that you buy, right? So earlier I talked about price. So here we have the US dollars versus the Canadian dollars, a currency pair that you can choose from out of more than 200 over pairs, right? If you don't like this, you can have a lot of other 100 over plus to choose from, something that you're familiar, something that you like. That's one product. I said that you don't have to determine the price, right? Unlike your fashion product, how much are you going to sell? You need to calculate what is your competitors doing, this and that. Here, don't need, right? You only need to do two things. That is, if you're going to buy, at what price are you going to buy? As simple as that, right? It's simple as that. Okay, it appears simple as that. I'm not going to again go into the chart analysis, right? So you determine at what price are you going to buy, and at what price are you going to sell. It's simple, right? right? So long as this difference is big enough, and then that is basically your profit, right? So let's move on further at 1.31892. Nope, it did not stop there, right? It did not stop at 1.31892. It went up further to 1.32. Okay, 1.32. So let's say you start here, right? What's the date? That's on 17th of January, right? 17th of January, and we are now at 3rd of February. So you're basically, you bought here and you hold till 3rd of February, right? From 17th Jan to 3rd February, what do you do after you have purchased this contract? Nothing. There's nothing that you need to do other than just monitoring the price action progress. That's it. Because once done, once you click buy, and that's it, right? It either move to the direction that you want or it move against you. It's as simple as that, right? So that means either you make a profit or you make a loss. There's no two way about it. It is, the result is almost instantaneous. That means you can get to know the traditional business, so to speak, is once my product is put on the shelf, I know straight away if I'm going to make a sale or not, right? So that is not happening in the real, in the marketplace in that sense. Once your product is on the shelf, you need to ensure that traffic comes in. You need to have good customer service to be able to, sell the product, sell the features, sell the benefits to the customers, right? So you need a mixture of attributes in order to push one product. Here, no, you do not need to know. As far as I'm concerned, which I'll probably cover in the next video, right? What moves this pair? There are a lot of ways to analyze, right? So I'm going to keep it simple, right? There are many reasons that drives the price of this currency pair to move up, right? But that's not for the discussion here. So price move up and you make profit. Very simple, right? Let's track further. It goes, so from 17 Jan, if you bought in and you're still holding to it until where we are now, we're in 7th Feb, right? 3rd Feb, now we're in 7th Feb. You see the price is still hovering at 1.33. Very good. Okay, let's click further. Right, so the highest peak that it goes to is here, 1.332. Wow, fantastic, isn't it? Right, here is 10th of February. So it's almost 3 weeks. So you hold for 3 weeks and you can make this profit. Okay. Now what is happening? Okay, so if you hold here and if you do not sell, so you can see your this desired profit will be dwindled down. It get lesser, reduced, right? As the price action start to move down. But even if you were to sell here, for example, let's go back, right? You bought here at 1.30, you are selling at 1.32, which is somewhere here, the 3rd February, right? See, so what I'm trying to show you here is the market, this currency market offers you more than one a chance to buy, more than one chance to sell. So in this case, you are buying a contract. If you miss selling here, for example, you're in a meeting, you're in the toilet, whatsoever reason, it does not matter, right? So you didn't sell here, never mind, the price come down here. It's not too late, right? So example, if I had bought into this pair, tomorrow I can sell straight away, and I still would be making the difference in the price action here, and that's my profit. Again, I just close the contract. You buy a contract, you sell back the contract, you square off the position. Very simple, isn't it? Isn't that nice, right? Okay, so this is, I'll talk about products. I said you don't have to think of what products to sell because there are more than, I don't know, lots of products to choose in the market, and the currency is just one of them. And within the currency subsets, there are more than 200 pairs for you to choose from, right? The next one I want to highlight is, okay, you can also be, product-wise, you can also choose to buy shares or equities, right? So that's what the terms use. Excuse me. So this perhaps a lot of you may be very familiar, buying shares of a listed company, shares of a listed company, right? So here on last year November, I said Apple for Christmas, right? Apple here referring to the Apple company, right? And I'm trying to show to the members here that at a certain entry point, right? I'm showing here. See, once the price break out from here, you can buy, you can sell here, and then you can make a profit. When you buy again, you can buy here again, right? You can buy here again, you can buy here again, buy here again, buy here again, buy here again. How many times does the market offer you a opportunity to buy, right? You may miss here, you may miss here, you may miss here, you can miss here, you can miss here. But then you say, oh, am I chasing the high price? Of course, in a way, yes, it is. But that is until you know where is the end point, right? So it's up to, I mean, it is your guess is as good as mine. Where's the end point of Apple before it start to come crashing down? Nobody knows as yet, right? Because the US stock market is still now very much on a bull run, and things are going well, right? So here I do an analysis that the price can either go up from here, or the price may do what we term as a correction, which is a red arrow, may pull back to here before it goes up, right? So that was in last year November. So November to now, we are probably about 2 months, right? 2 months away. Let's see how's the performance. See, even if you had bought here at 260, you would have made how much? 260, 330, right? There's about $70 profit per $70 per profit per lot of your these Apple shares, right? That is at this price. So you may somebody say, wow, I'm buying at a high price. Buy high, sell higher. That is the concept. Buy high, sell higher. So can you imagine if I were to zoom this out and let you see? Let's take a quick look. Right? For people who have bought it at 100 plus, maybe in last year January, right? How much more money would they have made? They have made tons of profits, right? And there are, in fact, shares like Apple, Amazon, and Facebook and Google have made lots of millionaires just from holding on and buying and selling of these great companies, right? Great companies. So fantastic, just fantastic, right? So that product wise, like I said, so you have shares to buy from, you have currency to buy from, price. You don't have to worry in that sense. And just need to know when to get in, when to get out, right? When to get in, when to get out. Next, I move on to what do we have? We talk about you do not need a retail space, right? There's no fixed cost involved in terms of renting of premise. What you need, you basically need a laptop. For me, I operate mostly on my laptop, but with technology these days, you can even buy and sell on your mobile phones, right? Mobile phones, so on your iPad, with whatever equipment that you are comfortable with, right? So no need to apply for business license, right? In that sense, all you need is to just register an account with your local broker, right? And then you are very much in the game, you're very much in the game, right? Then we talk about branding, right? So if you talk about buying Apple shares, what branding are we talking about? Apple is already a brand by itself because it is such a good brand. That is why it attracts me to buy these shares. It's as simple as that. Now, from this trading business, what I do not need to promote this trading business as a brand, because that's what a lot of people are already doing, right? So it's not about my brand, Desmond brand, Jonathan brand, Susan brand. No, it's not. And each and every trader or investor has their own way of studying the market, analyzing the market, and making money out from it. So that is different thing that we're talking about. So no branding involved. No, there's no need to distribute the product, right? There's no need to distribute the product. How much money you want to make, it all depends on yourself. If you are holding on a job, maybe I've used this. If you're holding on a job, say a 9 to 5 job, can you spare some time on the weekend to perhaps understand this business a little bit more, right? And then you can just place trade after office hour, because the US market start is live trading at about 10:30 Singapore time. Talking about Singapore time, right? And very soon it will be reduced. It will be operating, I think, at 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. I think it's somewhere in early March. The date I'm not sure, which I can confirm later, right? So that would be good at 9:30. If you have kids, and probably they'll be asleep by then. You know, spend an hour or two if you're not asleep at that time, and you can trade the US market. You know, so the geography, right? We talk about geography. You know, you can buy or sell shares, currencies from so many countries, right? Not only the US market, you can buy from the Euro market. You can just in Asia itself, you have some information about a stock in Indonesia. You can buy that. You can buy from Taiwan, Thailand, Hong Kong, Malaysia. Oh, the list just goes on, and that is just for one product, shares alone, right? Shares alone. There are so many companies worldwide, you know, that you can go after, right? So there's no end to it. So no need for retail space, right? And talk about distribution. You know, do you need to distribute your products? No, there's no need to do so. You are limited by basically your time, your knowledge, and maybe I would say the more critical would be your capital base. How much capital are you willing to put in for this business, right? So the next one I'm going to show you is commodities, right? Commodity is another one that you can look at, you know, to buy or sell. So here I'm talking about natural gas, right? You can see from my title here, I say you can buy NG, which is natural gas, at 55% discount now, or maybe more later, right? Maybe more later. That means more than 55% discount. So I'm going to use this chart and show you. This is a very crucial chart, right? So you see, price sits at somewhere at a 2.2, right? 2.2. I predict that it will go out from here, right? It will break out from here. The green arrow come down, and then it will break out again. That's one possibility. It is option one. Option two is it did not go here, but instead it hit south, right, to the first level at 2.02, sitting on this support here. And if this support fails to hold, it will go to 1.892, right? That was in last year Christmas Eve. Let's see, 2 months had passed. How is the performance? Whoops, look at it, right? From 2.2, it hits up here, hit the red trend line, right? It come down again, it went up again, retest again, and it went below this support line of 2.188, right? And then it attempt to break out again this time, okay? Although successful, right? But there are not enough buyers, so to speak, right, to push the price higher. Not enough buyers to push the price higher. So what happened? The price come tumbling down. Wow, hit south, whoosh, all the way, right here, and eventually it went below, right? Went back in the trend line here. This red trend line, what we term as the bearish trend line, right? Bearish trend line, and went down here to the 1.892. So technically, I'm right to say that it went down to here. Okay, so here, do you start buying? Okay, that is what we're going to explore further. Okay, I'll try to move the chart up. See, so it went even further. If you would extend this trend line here, right? Down here, somewhere here, I would say. Okay, here, right? So the price has breakout again somewhere at 1.75, right? So it's actually breaking out from here. Breaking out from here, it might revisit this price, this support and resistance. We don't know, right? We don't know. But what I want to share with you is how do you mitigate your risk in this trading business, right? Unlike in the trading business, unlike in the traditional business, say you buy your fashion shirt business, right? You have to order different colors, different sizes, set up your retail store, but you need to have sufficient stock inventories, right? To not for display, but also for so the surplus, so that your staff can replenish it, right? So all these are fixed costs that is holding on to your cash flow, right? And if you can't sell this product because the season has changed, the fashion trend has changed, what are you going to do with all this stock? You're stuck with it, right? It's a sunken cost from this aspect, but not in this trading business. So for example, right, I bought here, right? Let's go as an example. I bought here at 2.188, right? So the price did not break out from here, but the price break out from here. Now in trading, we have this thing called the stop loss, right? Stop S-T-O-P, loss, L-O-S-S. So I can place my stop loss, say here, okay? From here, 2.188 to 2.028. That means if the price moves against me and the price hit to 2.028, which it does, right? From 24th December to 17th Jan, so it hit down here. Then what the system will do is it will automatically close my position. Yes, you hear me right? It will close my position. I buy here, they will sell off for me here because that is where I indicate my stop loss. So here to here, this difference is my loss, which is very minimal, right? I'm telling you it's very minimal. Why? Because had you not closed the position at 2.028, what is going to happen? As you can see, the price went further south, down, touching the 1.892 support line, and it went below to as low as 1.75. Can you imagine your loss from 2.188 to 1.75? That would be the loss that you have to bear, right? Whether on paper or actual, had you not put your stop loss at here. Okay, so in trading, you can have this advantage whereby you can mitigate your risk, your financial risk, right? In that sense that you can preset where you want your loss to be. Of course, that all depends on your risk appetite, the amount of capital that you have, the what they call trading style that you employ, so on and so forth, right? Again, that's for another video, but that is what I could do. But back to the fashion business, it is, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not in this industry, but I would think that it's challenging to predict what is the trend right now. Is yellow in, is pink in, is green in, you know, what is the design right now that I should be. There's so much things to consider. And how do I put a stop loss in that business, right? How do I turn my excess of inventory in my warehouse, right? So in this business here, the trading business, look at this natural gas. Once I buy here, I hope to make a profit to this desired place, but it did not. Instead, it hit my stop loss. So I'm out, clean in that sense. Yes, I do suffer this loss, but that's it. The next day is a fresh business day again for me. That means I get to start my business back at level 0 again, right? I can start my business again. You know, it's like starting the business from scratch again. You know, with no of these what we call baggage at all. You know, you don't hold the baggage over the weekends, over the night and months and years. You know, I have no baggages at all. I can close all my position each Friday or each day or each hour, depending on what time frame you want to trade. You know, there's so many things that you can be looking at, right? So it's very, very fascinating. Okay, so here the last one I'm going to show you is another commodity called the crude oil. Okay, again in early December last year, I said oil has come down to this great level. So here, what it's trying to show is whenever the price drop to around 55 level, it's a good chance for you to accumulate. So that was in November, right? November last year, right? If you bought here, you can make some profit, you know, from here to here, anywhere here. Okay, anywhere here. Say you did not buy in November, never mind. Market give you another chance 3 weeks later to buy, right? Even better because the profit is even higher. Okay, so you again, you were busy, you were caught in meetings, you were traveling, you were sleeping, whatsoever. Never mind. Another chance in 30th November. In an entire month, you had how many chances? One, two, three chances for you to get into the market. Okay, so let's see if I'm right. Yes, I am right. Okay, God bless. And it's even better. Here, if you had entered it on 30th November, it shoot up all the way to nearly 60. But is that the best? No, this is not the best because it went as high as, I think it's 63, if I'm not wrong. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's say you buy in 2nd December, right? 2nd December was where I was saying. 2nd December, you bought it, right, at 55. You make a good $10 profit out of this contract on a 60-minute time frame before the price come tumbling down. Oh no, it's not 65. It's as high as, yes, 65. Sorry. Okay, the price came back. Okay. Yep. Now the price has gone below the crucial support of 55, right? It went as far down as 52. Okay. Okay. So from here, let's take a quick look. So you see, 1 chance, 2 chance, 3 chance for you to buy. And if you did not have a profit target to get out, okay, that is another video. Like I say, if you did not have the target to get out, then you are going to suffer, meaning this $10 profit margin that you are supposing to be making will be evaporated. And not only that, right, price has come down from a 65 level all the way back to 55, right? What you gain on paper, you return back to the market. And not only that, it went below your buying price, and depending on where is your stop loss again, right? You are now in a paper loss position, right? It went as far down as close to almost 49, right? Before it finds some support and is moving up here. Okay, right? So these are some of the things that I like to share with you guys, and you can find more about my ideas that you know, I have close to about 900 plus trade ideas that I've published on tradingview.com. Just go and look for my name, dchua1969. You know, I have talked about shares. I have talked about currencies. I have talked about STI, the local index, Dow Jones, you know, many ideas. But I like to highlight to you, there's a disclaimer, right? These are just trade setup, trade ideas, and it's by no means a recommendation for you to go in and buy immediately, but rather to act as a point of reference for you to, you know, take a look, to consider, to study, you know, more in depth. And I hope this has been
useful and beneficial to you. Until next time, I wish you all the best. I will be praying for all of you. Okay, God bless and have a good weekend ahead. Bye. Ooh. Everything.